cinemas around the world are different in various ways, them being based on the decisions of the owner, among other factors, though it's always the former, as the factors could still be motivation for the decisions.
When thinking about ideas for cinemas, whether they be for real ones, fictional ones, hypothetical ones, etc., there are those factors to account for, as they could help out. The reason why we tell you this is because all this information is useful for inspiring ideas for hypothetical theater or cinema chains. For one set of factors, the layout should be considered, as we'll flesh them out in this video. I'm the Microsoft Mic of Caden Vanseel's YouTube channels, and as part of a streak of videos regarding hypothetical cinema chains, I'm accompanying Sam here to discuss ideas that could exist for the layout.
Pre-existing fictional cinemas from iconic franchises will be used as examples, though screenshots of the cinemas from those franchises will not be shown, as it could lead to copyright issues. Though some screenshots could be used from YouTube videos by independent content creators, as long as they are credited, and don't mind. So without further ado, let's flesh out the layout ideas. If any of you seeing this are Italian, you might recall the existence of Warner Village Cinemas, which Caden intends to make a video about for his main channel. Some buildings would include, and I'm unfortunately about to mispronounce native Italian terms, phrases like 9 sale, 12 sale, 16 sale, and similar.
That sale word could relate to film screens, with the number referring to the amount of auditoriums in the multiplex.
In Vesalia's neighbor, Tuller, the Galaxy Theaters building, one of a large number of them, with another being in Porterville, has 10 screens and thus is known as Galaxy Tuller 10.
Fresno has 2 cinemas operated by the Cineworld-owned Regal. One of them consists of 16 auditoriums, known as the Regal Manchester, though the name is shared with other Regal-owned multiplexes throughout the U.S. The other one used to be Edwards Cinemas 21, prior to later rebrandings following Cineworld purchasing Regal in 2018.
In Visalia, there is a Regal location in the downtown region with 10 rooms, 5 on each side. There was a second one in Visalia that was closed down in recent years because of the pandemic. It's unknown which theater company might purchase it, or if it might be reopened by Regal. And before I forget, it would consist of 12 auditoriums. That cinema multiplex in Royal Woods, Michigan, the main setting of the Loud House, has 4 auditoriums, as revealed in the episode Senior Moment, the final released, though second to last solo episode to be written by Sammy Crowley, before she started working on Disney's The Ghost and Molly McGee.
If I may continue, there are historically theaters with just 1 screen, though multiplexes go farther than usual in the real world, even compared to that 19-screen multiplex in Rocco's Modern Life, Popcorn Pandemonium to be specific.
In a side note, Caden's late grandfather, he has a lot of grandfathers, invited him to traverse the Forestier Underground Gardens in Fresno in September 2016. The two then went to the Edwards Cinemas to see the new at the time remake of The Magnificent Seven.
The decor is similar to the Regal location in downtown Visalia, and maybe the one at the Sequoia Mall, though the decor of the auditoriums is based on ancient civilizations, the one showing The Magnificent Seven remake being based on ancient Egypt. We might come back to this story in later videos, but for now, let's continue with the examples. The AMC Ontario Mills 30 is the largest multiplex to exist, possessing no more than 30 auditoriums. This and the various other existing cinemas could contradict a general rule stating multiplexes can only possess 8 to 16 theater rooms, a rule on Wikipedia stating that 16, including stadium seating, can be a multiplex, and claims that no less than 24 are required.
That same article and its cited sources could be useful for revealing the larger picture and puzzle, especially with the fictional multiplex created by Dave Madsen including 40 screens. So, if you're thinking of ideas for a fictional, hypothetical, or actual multiplex, keep this information and those examples in mind. Although we recommend sticking with a small amount of screens, as absurdly large numbers of auditoriums could be a problem.
Minimalism might be where it's at, as Caden started embracing it for a few years, and small numbers are easier to work with. There's also how much space the multiplex should take up, which could be helped by the number of auditoriums, the seating capacity in each room, etc. Hallways and the foyer are required for free space to roam around, among other factors regarding looking for the theater room. Speaking of seating capacity, consider the number of seats each auditorium should consist of, as well as accommodations for the disabled, like some IRL theaters have done, including the ones in Visalia.
The overall amount of seats could vary from theater room to theater room, or it could be the same amount for each one. There's also whether or not the cinema would be part of a mall, like the Warner Cinemas at McDowell in 1993. Or the AMC at Westfield Plaza Bonita, or that Regal in the Sequoia Mall.
With all this information in mind, there are a lot of questions to consider, many of which regard the factors we've uncovered thus far.
And there's also, if you paid attention to your own experiences in a way to notice it, different screens being curved or straight.
Also, various multiplexes, like the ones by Regal, include arcades, and the exact games vary from place to place, though the arcades are better viewed as gaming rooms. So, if you intend to include gaming areas for your cinema place, consider the exact games to include. Maybe look at images of games within the theaters, including the ones at Regal, for reference. And there's also the likelihood of throwbacks via showing old school films. Some like Regal do it on their own accord, while others like Galaxy Theaters established deals with Flashback Cinema. Whether or not your cinema would be doing either one of these, or show old school films in general, should also be considered. Another element to note is the usage of new types of experiences, like IMAX, Regal's RPX 4DX and ScreenX.
IMAX has been around the longest and has been used for decades, though the other three, two of which are by a South Korean cinema company, were utilized by Regal in recent years, since presumably 2022. Cinemark XD has been around since 2009, though Caden first discovered it in the summer of 2017. Multiple other cinemas might be utilizing new methods of film experience, which you could look up on the internet yourselves.
With the existence of a form that needs to be updated and modified, Caden included information about those new screening experiences. These are the details of the experiences courtesy of Regal these days.
Basically, RPX is Regal's equivalent to Cinemark XD. ScreenX creates a 270-degree view by expanding the screening to the side walls, and 4DX includes motion and atmospheric simulation. With that in mind, further questions would have to be considered as well, like whether or not any or all of your cinemas might utilize similar methods of screening experiences, and what they might be like compared to them.
There are also the people helping out with the projection, like Barco and or others, as well as the people certifying the sound system of the auditoriums, like Dolby or THX among others.
That's pretty much everything about the layout, as explained by me and Mike, and there are a lot more categories to flesh out and dedicate videos to.
I second his statement, and stay tuned for more videos regarding the differing yet compatible factors of hypothetical cinemas.